tried to join us, but I think he's having some technical difficulty joining us by Zoom.
He can't log in. He said he's trying to log in. He can't get in.
Okay. Well, we do have a quorum, so we'll go ahead and start this guy.
Yeah, you're on speaker. You ready?
Okay.
Okay.
Good. All right. This time, call the regular monthly meeting, the Grayson County Board of Supervisors to order. And would ask Supervisor Thompson if she would lead us in the invocation and the pledge.
Heavenly Father God, we thank you for this day and for all of the many blessings, Lord. We thank you for your watch care over us during this cold. We thank you for each and every person that's here tonight and their interest, showing their interest in the county and its business, Lord. I pray that you would lead, guide, and direct us in all the decisions that we make. In your name I pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would remind everyone of the decorum for our meetings, which is on the back side of the agenda. Ask everybody to respect that. Under the agenda, we'll need to make an amendment to the agenda to the an addition of a resolution, notice of intent to abandon a portion of discontinued Route 660 from the secondary system of state highways. And we would make that amendment, add it to new business.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion. We amend the agenda to include this resolution.
Second.
Okay. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Chair also aye. Okay. We do not have any public hearings scheduled for this evening. And it appears we do not have any reports, presentations, or requests. Which brings us up to our registered speakers and public comment portion of the agenda. Okay. Looks like we do have one registered speaker. Would remind you that during the public comment period, that time limit's limited to 3 minutes, and the board members cannot interact with you. So after you do your presentation, if you have any questions, maybe speak after the meeting. If you will, state your name and your address. Okay. Carolyn Trickup.
Close.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. It's Trenkamp. Thank you. My name's Carol Trenkamp. I'm of Point Lookout Mountain Homeowners Association. And I'm here on behalf of many of the members that have contacted me, also an officer on the board. Spoke to you before. I did a presentation a year ago, July, and you worked with me on the county towers, and we really appreciate it. I wanted to present to you a problem that was brought to us, that you are no longer having a recycling center open, and that directly impacts our community. Although we only have 10 residents that live on the mountain, it is built up, and I would like to point out to you that it could become a major safety concern on Peach Bottom Road, because as in your requirements, we're allowed to put out four 32-gallon trash cans per resident. So that would be 40 32-gallon trash cans down there at one given time. So if they blow or they get in the way of the road, that would create a real safety hazard for many of the people that travel along Peach Bottom Road. Also, our residents have nowhere to put any of our metal We don't have a place to, we have a lot of people that are part-time. They come up for a week at a time. So they can't go to the day that you designated as trash. So what's going to happen is people are just going to start like dumping their trash at the end of our community, which I don't think you want to have, and either do we. So I would really like to ask the board to reconsider opening the recycle center because it was a major convenience for us. We are trying to look at other options. We were hoping that the county could give us some ideas as what to do. Like I said, 10 people, 4 buckets each, that's a lot at the end of that driveway, and that could create a real safety hazard for anybody that travels on that road. So that's what I really want to point out and have it documented that somebody brought it to your attention. Okay? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Take care.
Hey, Steve.
So after we spoke the other night, I talked to Jonathan. I thought he spoke with you. Did he not speak with you?
Mhm.
Okay. So he spoke with somebody at the HOA. So we're gonna have to figure out just call me after this, because I thought he spoke with you. And so we're going to figure out a system, because you pay a trash fee. And so we're going to provide a service for you, which doesn't, somehow the HOA can agree to, and you can get your trash on a weekly basis, because you're paying a fee and you're entitled to get a trash pickup there. Now, whether we do it inside the gate or outside, I think that's your concern.
Yeah, I mean, our benefit would be inside the gate.
Sure.
You guys have come through that service gate all the time for the county towers.
Just call me right after, call me tomorrow on this. And we'll
Okay, I don't know if I have your number.
I just don't want you to think I didn't follow up after myself.
No, that's okay. That was unofficial, so.
It was good.
But I just wanted to bring it to the county's attention.
Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Sounds like we lost.
Did you lose it?
It sounds like. Okay, next item, we'll move on to, since there's no other registered speakers and some didn't have any letters sent in or anything. So we'll move on to the next portion of the agenda, which would be whole business, comprehensive plan amendments.
Before we amend it.
That's under new business.
That's
New
okay,
business. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
That's good.
That's fine. I'll follow everything clear. Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Wasn't sure what you want me to do. Again, just wanted to follow back up, back in front of you tonight, asking for the approval and adoption of our comprehensive plan. I know we tabled it last go round, in December. Does the board have any questions for staff at this time?
How's it?
Mr. Black, I was on under the population and housing, it's page 3-5, on last month's board packet.
Okay.
It's under 3-3, and 3-4, says consider incentive program to remove pre-1976 manufactured homes that may be unable to meet current building codes, and the other ones create a task force to analyze the environmental health of the county as it relates to septic tank issues, straight piping, and the lack of a full-time environmental health officer, etc. I was just wondering, how's that going to be done?
That particular strategy has been in the comprehensive plan for a very long time. Honestly, that would be very hard
That
strategy to accomplish,
that
just
was
if
my
I was
fault.
being forthright. Our building official is pretty adamant about not forcing anyone out of their home. As far as the straight piping of the septics. We work with the health department, and the health department has in place through the assistance with rooftop. And that's where that particular strategy gets worked on. Does it, I don't have the comprehensive plan in front of me. Does it say that it's ongoing? Is that an ongoing strategy in the matrix?
I think so.
Okay, it should be, but we do work with rooftop, especially through that plumbing, the IPR program, and that's where that strategy gets accomplished at. So anytime that we find someone that needs plumbing assistance, that's where we turn those people to, is through rooftop. That's continuous, and that's why it's always ongoing.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else? Questions for? Only issue I had with it was, the currency of some of the statistical information. You know, that some of the statistical information that is reflected in the comprehensive plan didn't seem to, is a little dated, I thought, or a bit.
Can you give me a?
Well, like some of the references, I don't have it with me, I'm sorry. But that was my impression, that some of it was like, 2000.
Some of that data might not be available yet. Now, we did take the new census data, and Mount Rogers Planning District Commission and the Berkeley Group helped with that census data that came off of the new census, most recent census. Vice Chairman Hash, if you come across something, please let me know what it is. The comprehensive plan is a living document. So if there's something that's not right and that we need to fix, we can always address that. It's not like we have to do it every 5 years. It's something that we will always continuously work on. So if there's something that needs to be added or removed, we can always do that.
I don't know that any, the information would be detrimental to planning, for staff and future boards, but, just, I'll
Let me know what they
get
are.
my copy and show you what I was talking about.
But the projections are based off of the most recent census. Okay.
Now, I remind you that this was just a 5-year update.
Right.
I feel it necessary this next cycle to actually do a complete rewrite. So I'll be asking the board in a year or so if they would entertain that idea, because that is costly. We would have to hire outside source to help us with that process, and we'll do a complete rewrite. That rewrite will consist of new surveys, county and public meetings, community meetings, so that we can capture the most recent data and the needs and assessments of our community.
Supervisor Coonan,
Yes, to speak of what Mr. Hash was speaking about, one thing that I noticed was those, it was about the, I guess, last time you done the surveys.
Yeah.
Childcare, for example, I think was 5th or 6th.
It was 2013,
Mhm.
and it's been one of our greatest needs for a very, very long time.
Yeah, so I felt like that may not be accurate, but I realize it's been a while.
Yeah, so we'll, in the complete rewrite, that's where we'll reach out. We'll do those surveys to the community and get their input.
All right, Chair, entertain a motion. I think we need to adopt comprehensive plan.
So just for my own understanding, I'm sorry, Jada. So you're saying that we can, if we find something that needs to be changed within the next, we can always amend it or, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we do have to go through the process
The whole
of that,
process.
yeah, the process is what we're doing now, but what I like to do is if you find something or anyone that needs to add something, for instance, you might have a project that's not in there that, hey, a grant might look better if that was in our comprehensive plan. Those, it's like I said, it's a living, breathing document, and so it's always going to change. I like to get them lumped up, and then we'll make those changes, and then we'll bring them to you. I just need guidance from this board to send back to the planning commission is all we need.
And for point of clarification, we're required to have comprehensive plan, but we could revise it every year if we wanted to.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
So we're not bound to.
No, sir. No, 5 years, what the code says, but whenever, it's just like when I come to you and I ask for those transportation additions for the smart scale projects, I'm constantly updating it.
There's no further questions, then Chair would entertain a motion to adopt the resolution.
So moved.
No further discussion. This is a resolution, so it will require a roll call vote.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Can I just make another comment? That another takeaway that I noticed in this was the biggest takeaway for me was the population projections from 2020 to 2050. Looks like we're going to lose roughly 20% of the population is projected. And another one that I noticed was on page 5-3. It says Grayson County's inflow and outflow job counts show that many more residents are going outside of the county to find employment, which is 84.9% that are able to live and work in the county, 15.1%. And I know we have some challenges with bringing jobs in, et cetera, but my one takeaway is whenever we get an opportunity, we should do everything possible to bring that opportunity in to work with people. And because our opportunities are limited, it's very important we take advantage of those. When we have an employer, no matter how small, whether it's one job or 100. So I would just ask staff, building official, your office, just to keep that in mind, county administration, keep that in mind, and just work as hard as we can to take advantage of those opportunities.
Sure, so just so you know, Mr. Boyer had asked us, when he started, that any opportunity that comes into our office, that we usher them down to the administration office so that they know and that we can all work together.
Great, thank you.
Having a motion and a second, and resolution call, roll call, Mr. Anderson. Mr. Mr. Thomas.
Aye.
Chair also aye, and we still, okay.
Excuse me.
Next, item on the agenda would be, board appointments.
So you have a long list of reappointments there. If you would like, you could just do them all in one block. If you want to have a discussion about any of the potential appointments, you're absolutely entitled to do that. I'll tell you, take a minute to look at them and have some discussion about it. So,
It's my impression that the members that serve on the Building Inspection Board of Appeals, they just meet on an as-needed basis, and the requirements of an individual that's on that board is pretty rare
yes.
to find.
Yep.
And I think everybody else would agree, if these individuals are still willing to serve on that board, we should just leave it as is. Unless anyone else has a.
Just as a reminder, the board decided to change the process last year. And the board wanted to personally contact these or not contact these prior to. So Linda's not reaching out direct. So I know that she has some knowledge of each of these individuals, but she's not leaning in because that was kind of what you guys wanted to not have us do. If there's anybody on there that you have questions about, we certainly can staff and do some work on it, but we let that up to the board.
Okay, thank you. For the Senior Advocacy Committee, Amelia and her spouse, I believe, have had quite a few health problems. So it was my understanding from our meeting this past year that she would like to resign. And I've spoken to two individuals. I've not gotten an application from them. And I know that says Elk Creek District. I don't think she's actually a resident, but I might be wrong anymore. But there's two ladies that I've spoken to about taking her place. They meet once a year, I believe. That's what we did last year. Nothing really pressing going on with that committee, but that's the one of the ones that I serve on. So
Okay.
I can try to get back with some applications. Okay.
So, if it be the pleasure of the board, we could do this as a block with the exception of the Grayson County Senior Advocacy Committee until we find a replacement. Chair to entertain that motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Any opposed? Chair also aye. Okay. Next, resolution for the Grayson County High School football team.
Yep, we had two resolutions. The first one's for, the Grayson County Board of Supervisors wants to congratulate the Grayson County High School Virginia football team, coaches, school officials, on the outstanding season, and to honor them for their accomplishments. Whereas the Grayson County Board of Supervisors recognize excellence in all endeavors, and the Grayson County High School football team has placed second in 2024 Virginia Division I, a high school football tournament, finishing the season ranked 4th out of 44 teams. The Grayson County High School team achieved for the first time in the history of the football program. For the first time in the history of the football program. This award is a testament to the hard work, dedication, and determination these athletes put towards the success of the football program. No team can be successful without a great staff behind them. Head coach Stephen James, the assistant coaching staff, Principal Jared Blevins, Superintendent Kelly Wilmore, and all the teachers and administrators at Grayson County High School who played a pivotal role in their success. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Grayson County Board of Supervisors honor the tremendous achievement by the Grayson County High School football team for placing second in the state championship 1A finals. Be it further resolved that copies of this resolution be immediately transmitted by the county administrator to the superintendent of Grayson County School, principal of Grayson County High School, and the Grayson County High School football staff.
Nice framed resolution. So this one is adopted. Entertain a motion at this time.
So moved.
Okay, motion second. Roll call. Resolution.
Aye.
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 Chair also aye. Mr. Corbin, if you want to present that to Mr. Wilmore.
I will, yes, sir.
I'll leave it for him. Next, have a, I guess, Ms. Black, if you'd like to present the resolution concerning the abandonment portion of the 660.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In November, I was contacted by Mark Williams, the engineer there in our Withfield district. There had been a gentleman by the name of Stephen Bannon Rannett. I'm sorry if I butchered that. And he was wanting to acquire a small section of the old Carsonsville Road when they rerouted it. There's a certain section there that he wants to acquire. So I have a resolution of a notice of intent to abandon a portion of a discontinued Route 660 from the secondary system of state highways. Would you like for me to read it?
Yes, not too long, please go ahead.
All right. Whereas it appears to this board that discontinued secondary Route 660 from the end of state maintenance Route 925 to Route 660, a distance of 0.05 miles, serves no public necessity and is no longer necessary as part of the secondary system of state highways. Now therefore it be resolved, the clerk of the board is directed to post and publish a notice of the board's intent to abandon the aforesaid section of discontinued Route 660 pursuant to section 33.2-909 of the Code of Virginia as amended. Be it further resolved, a certified copy of the resolution be forwarded to the resident engineer, Virginia Department of Transportation. Also attached to the resolution is that certain section. It's about 264 feet. Is there any questions for staff?
This gentleman's done a lot of work along the road there, and picks up a lot of trash, and so I think it's probably an asset to the community. Anyone else, any questions for Ms. Black? Okay, hearing none, the chair, entertain a motion to adopt the resolution.
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call vote. Mr. Anderson?
Aye.
Nick? Ms. Thompson?
Aye.
Chair also aye.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, this now brings us to County Administrator's report.
Yes, sir. A couple of quick items. Louisville Lane, is delayed just a little bit because of the weather, but in 2 weeks we'll have the pressure check, and then we'll start connecting right after that. So we should be hooking up people in early February, I guess that would be. Debris cleanup's finished. I've got a couple of calls about debris cleanup. What people are seeing is VDOT has contracted, if you're seeing these trucks on the side of the road, VDOT's contracted out a group to cut trees out of the right of way. I know Mr. Cornett's getting a lot of calls. I've gotten a few calls about damage to fences or trash cans or what have you. That is a VDOT contract. And so you can call here to the courthouse and we'll give you the number to VDOT. But if you need to talk to them, it's 276-613-9554. 276-613-9554. So I think it's nice to have, but I know they've done some damage to some fences and some other things. So.
Well, it's worth noting, I've gotten several calls on that, and they're reaching beyond the right of way, cutting good hard timber off people's property. Several calls on that.
Yes, sir. So if you're
with VDOT or somebody, of Howard, whatever, if you just put a bug in their ear, and I'll direct the individuals to this number.
Just for your awareness, I've sent them 3 emails and talked to them on the phone twice about this now. Mr. Cornett's called me probably daily since this happened. So anyway, so we have been getting quite a few complaints about it, so I appreciate it. I will follow up again. And I stopped and talked to the guys this morning because I saw them on the side of the road, so I talked to them myself. So.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Yes, sir. And just in the last thing, just from the organizational meeting, Mr. Anderson made a recommendation that we have registered speakers and public comment first. So from the agenda standpoint, you'll see that that's been moved up to 6:05. So if people want to come in and speak and talk and have to get out of here and clear out, then we can do business. As we discussed, this is a meeting. It's a business meeting, but it's a meeting for our citizens, and that's what it's about. So that's all I have, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Someone has notified me that they need time from Board of Supervisors.
I could use a minute. I just wanted to say something for the record. I've gotten several calls as it relates to the trash bins out at Public Works, and there's a lot of misinformation floating around out there about those trash bins and how much we charge folks for their fee. I just wanted to reiterate my stance on why we close those bins. We no longer have a contract with the county, and I mean with the town of Independence and the county, and that created a huge deficit in revenue for the county as far as public works goes. So just to be quite blunt about it, if we were to open that back up and town residents throw their trash in there, the town has contracted with an outside company to do this. The town or the county residents would be paying to haul off the town's trash while this independent company is actually getting paid for it. So the county would be paying for it, and they would be basically going empty to the landfill for the most part. So it was in the best interest of our taxpayers to close that, or else the cost was gonna continue to rise because of the offset in revenues. So I just wanted to really point that out. And then the idea that I suggested didn't seem to gain any ground in the last meeting, but I wanted to put that back out there, that we may consider putting dumpster in each of the districts once a month. For example, we would be in Old Town the first Saturday, Providence the second Saturday, Elk Creek District the third, Wilson the fourth. That's just an example. I think the pushback was it would be more expensive we would have more labor costs. So as I thought about that, Mr. Administrator, most people that work in public government have to work a Saturday once in a while. And if we divvied those Saturdays up out there with folks, if they worked a Saturday to haul that garbage off, they could be off a day during the week and would offset that. So there wouldn't be an additional labor that I could see on that. So folks are really fired up about this. My phone has rung continuously off the hook as it relates to that. So I thought if we had some kind of alternative in the meanwhile, see how it went. That's just a suggestion. I know it takes the entire board to get behind that before we could implement that. But I just wanted to point that out. The bottom line is the best interest of the county taxpayers is why we closed that, to keep the cost down, to keep taxes down. And that's the bottom line to it all. I've been a huge supporter of that until this recent events, with the town. So I hate that it's closed. I hate it like everybody else. And I would point out the recycling bins are still open out there outside the gate. Is that not correct?
They are. We're having, just so you're aware, we're having some significant issues with our recycling bins in Baywood and some other locations right now. People are throwing trash all over the place and dumping trash in recycling bins now. And so we're going to set cameras up, and we're going to go through the trash if they do it. And if we can find out who it is, I'll ask the sheriff to take action on it. Because it is ridiculous that someone would, because they're not happy with a decision that was made, that they would just throw the trash on the ground or throw it into the recycling bin. And that is a place, I've been talking to GFL about, some of the challenges they face. And, we actually make money on some of our recycling because our folks actually will sort through the recycling. So the county can make money on recycling. GFL is telling me how much money they lose on recycling because they won't separate it. They won't task their folks with doing that kind of work. But that's kind of work our folks will do to save the county money. So people can throw it out, but my goal will be to catch you and charge you for doing stuff like that.
All right. So that will bring us to entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Second.
All right. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Thank you for your attendance.